A very good afternoon to everyone. Myself, Manoj Agarwal, Company Secretary and Compliance Officer. I welcome you all to the 48th AGM of the company. It is being held in compliance with the SEBI and MCA circulars. Before I hand over the proceedings to the chairman, I would like to highlight a few points. The joining of this meeting has started 30 minutes prior to the scheduled time, that is 3:30 p.m., and will be open throughout the meeting. Members are requested to join through laptops and use earphones for a better experience. Further, members and particularly speakers are requested to have a stable connection, internet connection with good bandwidth, so that there is no disturbance during the meeting. The registers of directors and KMPs and register of contract and arrangements is available for inspection during the AGM. Any member desirous of inspecting the same can send an email at secretarial@bcml.in. Further, since proxies are not applicable, since the meeting is happening through video conference, the inspection of proxy register does not arise. With this, now I hand over the proceeding to Chairman Sir to take it forward.
Yeah, thank you, Manoj. Good afternoon to all of you, ladies and gentlemen. This is my third annual general meeting as chairman of your company, and it gives me immense pleasure to extend my hearty and cordial welcome to all of you at the 48th annual general meeting of your company. I trust that you and your loved ones must be all fine. Since the requisite quorum is present, I hereby call the meeting to order. So let me begin by introducing my colleagues on the board and the senior management who have joined from different locations. So we have Dr. Indu Bhushan, who is the lead independent director and chairman of the audit committee and risk committee. He's joining us from New Delhi. Welcome, Indu Bhushan. So do I need to give an introduction to all our directors? I think they are all very, very skilled at their own sphere, and they have given us immense value, which we see all the time at the board meetings. Indu Bhushan has had a lot of international experience at the ADB, and if one has gone through the balance sheet, I think we are fortunate to have him on our board. Thank you, Indu Bhushan ji, for being with us. Next is Veena ji, Mrs. Veena Hingar, Independent Director and Chairperson of the NRC and CSR Committee. And she's joining us from Calcutta. Why is she not here? Hello, Veena ji. So Veena ji is an extremely skilled chartered accountant, sort of giving her views to Standard and Poor and global sort of bodies. So we are extremely grateful to have her on our board, and we get all ideas, thoughts, checkings, and a lot of thought-provoking ideas from her end. And I guess this is all what we need also to keep us on our toes. Thank you, Veena ji. Next is Ms. Mamta Binani. I believe she will join us on the phone and we can't see the photo.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Mamta ji, welcome. She is the independent director and chairperson of the stakeholder committee relationship committee. Then we have Mr. C.K. Mishra, independent director, who's joining us from Delhi. He's just joined the board as recently as additional director in May 24, and his appointment is to be confirmed in this AGM, right, Manoj? Yeah. So also a very distinguished personality. So since you do not have a background in the balance sheet, I will take a little more time. So Mr. C.K. Mishra has had a distinguished career in public service, and his last posting was as Secretary, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, holding additional charge of the Ministry of Ayush. She's been additional secretary in various government posts, heading the National Health Mission, etc. Over his 37 years, Mr. Mishra had a career as an influential administrator and policy maker. So we hope to get a lot of benefit from his sort of vision, which he has used in all his service. Thank you, Mishra ji, and welcome. So now to introduce our team members who are on the board, Mr. Praveen Gupta, he has been on the board from when, Manoj? Sorry?
2020.
2022. So Shri Praveen Gupta, he has been on our board from 22. He is our whole-time director joining from our Hyderabad unit. And besides all his other contribution in technical matters, his specific responsibility assigned to him from the board is environment, health, safety, and green agenda ahead and bringing efficiency in other automation technological interventions. Welcome, Gupta ji. Then we have Avantika Saraogi, Executive Director of the company. We have Pramod Patwari, our Chief Financial Officer, Manoj, our Company Secretary, Manoj Agarwal, our Company Secretary, with me. And we, three of us, have joined from our registered office in Calcutta. Right. The representatives of the statutory auditors as well as secretarial auditors are also present through video conference. In case, just a caution point, in case of any technical disruption or failure, if I lose connectivity, Dr. Indu Bhushan, our lead director, shall chair and continue the proceeding. Do I wait for them to say something? Should I proceed? Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, the notice convening this AGM along with the audited financial account, board's report, auditor's report for the financial year 23-24 have been with you for quite some time now. With your permission, I shall take them as read. Right? The auditor's report did not have any qualification, observation, or adverse comments. In terms of Section 145 of the Companies Act 2013, auditor's report is therefore not required to be read out. In compliance with provisions of Companies Act and SEBI listing regulations, your company has extended remote e-voting facility to its members to transact the business set out in the notice of the AGM. The said remote e-voting facility was available from 28th July 10 a.m. to 30th July 5 p.m. Members who have not cast their votes through remote e-voting facility and who are present in this meeting will have an opportunity to cast their votes through e-voting system at the end of the meeting. Messrs. Ambar Ahmad, Company Secretary in Practice, has been appointed as the scrutinizer for scrutinizing the remote e-voting facility as well as for e-voting at this AGM in a fair and transparent manner. The results would be declared after considering the e-voting at the AGM and remote e-voting already done. The results would be submitted to the stock exchanges within 2 working days from the conclusion of this meeting and would be placed on the website of the company. Now let me take you through the financial performance of the company. So the numbers are in front of you, and I would take a little time instead of going into the nitty-gritties of the numbers to give you a basic feel of what has happened, why it happened, and how we are looking at things going ahead. So last year being an election year, the perception of a lower production not only for 23-24 creeped into the minds of the policymaker, but there was fear of 24-25 being way lower than 23-24. So with the elections on the head, the government took a very sort of knee-jerk view that if prices go up because of lower production, enough sugar will not be available in the system. And hence, it is imperative to have more sugar in the system at any cost. That being the premise, the government went and banned or suddenly stopped ethanol production, stroke curtailed it, and the diversion initially was curtailed to about 17 lakh tons of sugar sacrifice. That led to enhancement of sugar production. It lowered the prices a bit. It sort of kept our ethanol capacities at bay. We were not able to utilize the same. And it was a bit of a rough period. Later on, our thoughts were correct, industry thoughts. The production was much higher. The net production came to what, 318, 319?
318.
The net production 318, the gross being about 339, 339, 340. This led to ballooning of the closing stock, which today would stand at 8.5 million tons. Usually the stock required at this on 1st October, that's called the closing stock. The usual level, and the government has been very comfortable with 6 million, at times with 5.5 million also. 5.5 is acceptable when you have a next year which is looking surplus. So that being the case, we are left with at least 2.5 lakh tons on a minimum of extra closing stock in the system. Recently, as recent as yesterday, ISMA has released its estimates of 333 lakh tons as sugar production. If expected consumption for next year, that is 24-25, is expected to be at the very highest 295, you would still have a 30 lakh or a 35
38 lakhs.
I would say roughly at least 35 lakhs of extra stock. So we have 25 lakh excess this year, 85 minus 60, and 35 minimum next year, which is supposed to add to this excess closing stock, which means you have an extra closing stock of 60 lakh tons. That being the case, and I mean 60 lakh tons after keeping another 60 lakh tons as on 1st October 25. No, 25. Or in 25. So 60 lakh tons is at the hands and the disposal of the government to use for ethanol and thereafter for exports. So we hope sequentially ethanol production would be allowed in full swing, which means, as much as mills want to divert, that is our feeling based on the data and our dialogues, and that is the logical conclusion. Thereafter, probably as and when the government gets its ethanol diversion in place and is able to be more confident on the production numbers, which might take a couple of months into the season, maybe in sometime in January or something, we might, and I'm pretty certain, get export permission also. But these are our feelings. So the data points is the main barometer to decide the policy. So yes, last year the data points went incorrect. The reading of that was incorrect. And the government did not want to test out the data point because it was scared of election. And one cannot really blame them if one is scared at that point of time. Now at this point, these data points feel adequately certain, and hence progressively we should see the policy measures play out. Last year also we did not get any enhancement for our B or juice molasses, B or juice ethanol. We are certain that the price rise of FRP not captured consequently in these prices should also get covered. So if FRP is uncovered from 305 to 340, we hope that percentage of coverage would reflect in the ethanol and the BAV price. We have also been speaking to the government on sort of improvement in sugar price based on cost escalations, which is mainly owing to the cost prescribed by the government, which is you must pay the farmer so much, and that's the FRP. If that has gone up by 11%, we also have spoken about the sugar price, that they've remained stagnant to negative in the first half of the year, and therefore to create a positive environment, and what is due from the past is revision of minimum selling price. Don't know the exact date when last month.
February 2019.
2019. So earlier there were two revisions, 1.5 years between each other, in a gap of 1.5 years. In MSP, there's the minimum selling price. From 2019, there's been no revision. So that's overdue. We have represented our Indian Sugar Mills Association senior members. All of us have met the government and put extreme emphasis on this. So going ahead, next year might be a truncated surplus. We feel 25-26 will be a rather large surplus. We do not prepare all the background from now, you will have a problem in paying of cane price, etc. later on. So we have found the government to be very receptive, and we are hopeful of positive action on all the fronts. So the logic is very simple. as and when cost escalates, there has to be a reasonable understanding of the cost escalation on sugar price and ethanol price. Had this year not come in the middle, I do not think we would have had this debate on way. Because prior to that, last 2 to 3 to 4 years, which is prior to 24 season, 23, 24, there was no gap in this system. The system was FRP increase, the percentage thereof was captured in the ethanol price increase, juice and B. If and when there was a surplus beyond the ethanol diversion, there was no limit to ethanol diversion. Post that, exports were allowed. As we have exported as high as 11 million tons in various tranches. Now, each tranche followed a upward revision in production estimate. So when there was an upward revision, automatically keeping the closing stock as constant, ethanol diversion being known, any additional surplus was not allowed to enter or creep into the system, destroying the sugar price or creating extra inventory or carrying cost of the industry. It was automatically allowed as export. So we are very hopeful this being extremely rational way of moving ahead should get captured in the system once again. So this is the basic feeling on the business front. So now members may put forth their queries and observations, if any, on the financial statements. Shareholders who have registered as speakers have been provided specific links to get logged into the meeting. We request speakers to be concise in their speeches and try to conclude within 2 minutes for the benefit of other shareholders. And it would be a real pleasure if questions are, sort of addressed on the business. Thank you. I now request the moderator to call out the name of the shareholders who have registered.
Sure, sir. Thank you. Now I request our first speaker, Lily Pradhan. Lily Pradhan, we request you to unmute your audio, switch on your camera if you desire to do so, and proceed, please.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're
Hello?
audible. Please
Okay.
proceed.
Very good afternoon, all chairpersons and all viewers. Myself, Lily Pradhan from Kolkata. First of all, I give my respect to the Board of Directors, respected Chairman, respected MD, respected Secretary Agarwal sir, with secretarial team Sunil Bharma sir. As a Secretary, Agarwal sir always coordinate with me, even all shareholders, and also Sunil Bharma sir. Very good, appreciative, personalized human beings. Overall, very good investor services. I am really proud of our company secretary for being polite, decent, hardworking, and patientful behavior. Go ahead, good wishes, always with you. I received email, e-notice well in advance, and also annual report. The theme of cover page is very good knowledgeable. I wholehearted support all resolution. I am very happy to know the company's performance is developing a lot, which is sustainable growth in nowadays. Credit rating of the company is very good. Company's export is increasing, but I have put some specific question and request in present situation. What is the aim and object of future development in all over country as the international level by applying AI technology? What is byproduct plan? What is CSR activities on challenging persons? Please micro analysis of CSR activities on challenging persons. What is capex plan for future development? List must be bifurcated analysis, top line and bottom line growth. Please must be submit micro analysis audit of cash flow management. Please must be continuous VC in future because any part of the world abroad persons can participate and express their views. Please must be considered planned visit. As a chairman, as a managing director, please consider the planned visit for encouragement of the shareholder. Please must be considered the planned visit. As a woman speaker, request always support women empowerment. Thank you so much. All the best.
Thank you, ma'am. We request our next speaker, Mr. Tapas Kumar Datta. Mr. Tapas Kumar Datta, sir, we request you to unmute your audio, switch on your camera if you desire to do so, and proceed, please. Mr. Tapas Kumar Datta. Mr. Tapas Kumar Datta, sir, you can
Hello?
continue, sir. You can continue, sir.
Hello?
You're audible.
Hello, am I
You,
audible?
you're audible, sir. Please continue.
Good afternoon, everybody. Respected Chairman, distinguished Board of Directors, eminent KMPs, exuberant and vivacious secretarial team, and my fellow shareholders visiting this busy meeting. I, myself, Tapos Kumar Dotto, an equity shareholder of Balrampur Chini Mills Limited. I profoundly express my sincere gratitude to the galaxy of Balrampur Chini Mills Limited for their dedication, exertion, commitment, and outstanding achievement. My heartfelt indebtedness towards Secretarial Department for their excellent and remarkable investor services. They are doing everything efficiently, effectively, and intelligently. Our hopes and aspirations surrounding Sir Chandrasekhar Mishra, former IAS and now independent director of PCML. He is a man of immense knowledge, erudite, articulate, innovative. He will certainly be a guide to BCML. I take the opportunity to salute Sir Mishra Ji for his participation. Talents have no boundary. Vivek is a man of many talents. Acquisition, merger, and diversification are his business strategy. What is your planning of next acquisition? Page 12. Debtors turnover ratio is omitted from 5 years key statistical data, that is balance sheet ratio. Page 32. Next, BCML will be diversified into manufacturing of polylactic acid, investing rupees 2000 crore. Where will be the money come from? Is there any technical collaboration? Any marketing partner? Sugar, industrial, alcohol, ethanol, power generation, and new polylactic acid. Will you change the name of Balrampur Chini Mills Limited? Sir, page 140. The total investment on energy and conservation equipment during the financial year 3.22 crores. But what benefit have you derived from this investment? It is not mentioned. Page 166. Volume may please be included
Mr.
in
Tapas, sir,
market
we
price
request
data.
you to wrap up your question, sir. Thank you.
Sir, 180 page turnover of permanent employees is increasing, resulting with negative impact of profitability and high cost of production. How would you reduce turnover rate? With this, I conclude. Thank you for patient hearing.
Thank you, sir. We request our next speaker, Mr. Manoj Kumar Gupta. Mr. Manoj Kumar Gupta, sir, we request
Hello?
you.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we
Hello?
can hear you, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, respected Chairman, Board of Directors, fellow shareholders. My name is Manoj Gupta. I'm equity shareholder of Balrampur Chini Mills Limited. So first of all, I thanks to you for the excellent result of the company for the year 23-24, and I thanks to the CFO and the company secretary who helped us to join this meeting through VC. And so I want welcome to your beloved daughter in the board, and I believe that she will help you to take the company on new heights under your leadership with the team of management. So, what's your future outlook for sugar business in the country? Can you throw some highlights? What's your future outlook for the sugar industry? You are not getting return compared to your production price. So, how you face such type of challenge? And what's your outlook for the ethanol policy of the government? Government change time to time their ethanol policy. So, what's your view in that regard? And power rate, as per your balance sheet, you are selling the power to the under the PPE, so the rate is not proper rightly. You are getting a average rate of 90 4.90 to 530 per unit, but you should get around 7 to 720 per unit. So, what's your view in that regard? And now the Ayodhya, there's your plant in Ayodhya. Try to bring one guest house or something under the umbrella of Balrampur that your employees and your executives can stay there if they go to visit the Lord Rama. So think about and see in Ayodhya. Ayodhya is developing fast. Ayodhya will become the hub for the pupils. So think about that. And I thanks to your CSR policy, you help the pupils, and I strongly support all the resolutions. Thanks to the company secretary again for their good services. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We invite our next speaker, Mr. Gundluri Reddappa. Mr. Gundluri Reddappa, sir, we request. Mr. Reddappa, we request you to unmute and proceed, please. Mr. Reddappa, sir, we are not getting any audio feedback from you. Sorry, sir. We'll move on to the next speaker, Mr. Amit Kumar Banerjee. Mr. Amit Kumar Banerjee, sir, we request you to unmute your audio, switch on your camera if you desire to do so, and proceed, please. You're audible, sir. Please proceed.
Okay. A very good afternoon to everyone. Respected chairman of the meeting, other board members, myself Amit Kumar Banerjee from Kolkata. Thank you for giving us an opportunity to speak such a wonderful occasion, 48th annual meeting of the company. As regards the performance is concerned, it is very nice. Excellent result, good growth, strong financial presentation. Dividend is also there. CSR activity is also there. Today's market price quoting is about 495. Good appreciations. Sir, I would like to know what is your target plan, vision, mission for next 2 years as far as turnover, profitability, and market capitalization are concerned? I really very appreciate it that newly formed of board management of Balrampur Chini Mills Limited. They are all well experienced in their lines. Dr. Indu Bhushan, retired IAS, appointed as our lead independent director from 1st April. Mrs. Avantika Sarogi, daughter of our lovely chairman and managing director, appointed as a whole-time director from 1st January. Yes, another is also Miss Veena Hingol, Miss Mamta Binani, well experienced and well qualified, is also there. Our CFO, Yes, not only Mr. Pramod Patwari is also doing very good job, long years. Our company secretary, Mr. Manoj Agarwal, very cordial, experienced, and will cover all regulatory matters, and his secretarial team, well experienced, level-based try to resolve the issues. Overall, our our chairman and managing director, veteran of the leader, long years experienced in the sugar industry. Under his leadership, I believe our company will definitely maintain a strategic move for the growth years ahead. Myself, Amit Kumar Banerjee, over to you for further proceedings. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. We request Mr. Gundluri Reddappa to unmute your audio and proceed, please. Mr. Gundluri Reddappa, sir, we request you to unmute your audio, switch on your camera if you desire to do so, and proceed, please. No
Hello.
response received, sir. I move on to next speaker, Mr. Santosh Kumar sir. Sir, yes, sir. You're audible, sir. You may proceed, sir. Thank you.
Just a minute, give me time to start my video.
Okay, sir.
Just
Please.
a minute. Huh?
Sure, sir.
A very problem created your video.
So once you click on your
Hello.
camera icon, sir, you can see there is a share camera. You can click on that. Your video will be visible, sir.
I already allow. Okay.
Yeah.
Now coming, na?
You need to click on share camera, sir. Yeah.
Not coming your share camera. Now coming.
Yes,
Just
sir.
a minute.
You're visible, sir. Please continue.
माननीय सभापति जी, उपस्थित निर्देशक मंडल के सदस्यगण, अधिकारीगण और कर्मचारीगण, मैं संतोष कुमार श्राफ आप सभी को राम राम कहता हूँ। आशा करता हूँ आप इस समय अच्छे स्वास्थ्य में और सुरक्षित होंगे सर। मैं उन 8 ज़्यादा हमारे कर्मचारी और भाई बहनों का भी आभार प्रकट करता हूँ और उनको भी आशा करता हूँ वो भी इस समय अच्छे स्वास्थ्य में सुरक्षित होंगे सर। उनकी फैमिली का भी आभार प्रकट करता हूँ जो हमारी कर्मचारी के पीछे में बैकबोन के रूप में खड़े रहते हैं, उनको स्वस्थ और रखते हैं सर। सर, आपकी लीडरशिप में हमारे पिछले कई साल से हमारी कंपनी ने काफी ग्रोथ की है सर। आप जब से पूरा देख रहे हैं कंपनी दिनों दिन आगे बढ़ रही है और आपने एक बहुत अच्छा कदम भी उठाया सर। आपने अपनी लीडरशिप के अंदर में अविंतिका जी को जो दायित्व दिया है ये काफी अच्छा सर, क्योंकि आपके अंदर में रह के, आपके साथ में रह के वह काफी कुछ सीख सकेंगी, आप उनको गाइड कर सकेंगे। जैसे हमारे रिलायंस में मुकेश जी ने अपने तीनों बच्चों को दिया और आगे बढ़ रहे हैं और ये भी आशा करता हूँ अविंतिका जी भी अगले 2-3 साल में पूर्ण रूप से इंडिपेंडेंस होके अच्छा काम कर सकेगी। और सर, आपने जो अभी ज्वाइंट वेंचर बनाया है पीएलए के लिए, उसका भी स्वागत करता हूँ। आशा करता हूँ फ्यूचर में अविंतिका जी को उनका दायित्व दिया जाएगा, वो शायद उस प्रोजेक्ट को संभालने सकेगी। इसके बारे में विचार करिएगा, क्योंकि सर यंग है और यंग आजकल के नए जमाने की टेक्नोलॉजी को काफी अच्छा वो समझते हैं, काफी अच्छे टैकल कर सकते हैं सर। और पीएलए अभी नए जमाने का प्लास्टिक है और जो कि मतलब इन्वायरमेंट के लिए काफी अच्छा होता है। इसलिए मैं आशा करता हूँ जब भी वो प्रोजेक्ट चालू हो 1-2 साल में, आप उनको उसमें एक दायित्व प्रदान करिए सर। और सर, मैं कंपनी सेक्रेटरी का और उनकी टीम का भी आभार प्रकट करता हूँ काफी अच्छी बैलेंस शीट देने के लिए। को भी आभार करता हूँ, उन्होंने अपनी बैलेंस शीट में ऐसी कोई इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं है जो न दी हो। बहुत बड़ी बैलेंस शीट और बहुत साफ सुथरी बैलेंस शीट है। पढ़ेंगे तो सर काफी समय लगेगा, लेकिन यह है कि मैं देख के समझ गया कि इसमें कोई भी इंफॉर्मेशन बाकी नहीं है सर। और सर ये जो आपने पीएलए प्रोजेक्ट जो चालू किया है, कब तक कंप्लीट हो जाएगा? अगर इसका आप लोगों को अगर प्लान हो तो बताइएगा। और जब ये कंप्लीट होगा तो मैं समझता हूँ हमारी कंपनी की प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी में काफी इसका योगदान होगा। लेकिन आपका क्या एस्टिमेट है, इसके बारे में जरूर बताइएगा सर। सर आप लोग ने सीएसआर वर्क काफी अच्छा किया है सर, और आपके सीएसआर वर्क की तो तारीफ जितनी करूंगा, क्योंकि 2 साल पहले बेस्ट सीएसआर वर्क के लिए हमारे सीएस को भी अवार्ड भी मिल चुका है सर। इसलिए कहना ज्यादा नहीं कि सीएसआर काफी है सर। अपना अभी जो नया जमाना आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंट का है, तो अपनी कंपनी में टेक्नोलॉजी का किस तरह यूज कर रहे हैं जिससे ग्रोथ बढ़े, प्रोडक्ट बढ़े और अपने प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी बढ़े सर, इसके बारे में जरूर बताइएगा। और सर टोटल 10 प्लांट अपने हैं, वहाँ कितने प्लांट में अभी अपने रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी की व्यवस्था की है सर, सोलर पैनल या विंड पावर की व्यवस्था की, इसके बारे में जरूर बताइएगा सर। सर हम सब मामले में ठीक है सर, एक मामले में मुझे लगता है कहीं कमी है। आपने जितनी भी फीमेल एम्प्लॉई है उनको मैटरनिटी बेनिफिट प्रोवाइड किए सर, लेकिन हमारे जितने भी परमानेंट मेल और वर्कर मेल एम्प्लॉय है परमानेंट, उनमें किसी को भी आपने पैटर्निटी जो बेनिफिट होती वह प्रोवाइड नहीं की। इसका क्या रीजन है सर? कि हमारी कंपनी की पॉलिसी नहीं किसी को पैटर्निटी बेनिफिट एज पर लेबर रूल के अनुसार प्रोवाइड की जाए सर। ज्यादा समय नहीं लूंगा सर, पूछने के लिए तो काफी कुछ होते हैं, लेकिन अपने एक बाउंड होती है कि हमारे पास में कई स्पीकर हैं। तो मैं यही कहूंगा कि हमारे जितने भी डायरेक्टर हैं, जितने भी कर्मचारी भाई बहन हैं, उन सभी को फाइनेंशियल ईयर 2024-25 की शुभकामना देता हूँ और भगवान से प्रार्थना करता हूँ आप और आपकी फैमिली, जितने भी कर्मचारी हैं उनकी फैमिली फाइनेंशियल ईयर 2024-25 में स्वस्थ रहेंगी और हेल्दी वेल्दी प्रॉस्पर और सेफ्टी के साथ व्यतीत करेंगे अपना समय। मैं कार्मिक प्लेटफॉर्म का भी आभार प्रकट करता हूँ, काफ़ी अच्छी इनकी सर्विस रही सर, फ्यूचर में भी इनको कंटिन्यू रखेगा और बीसी मीटिंग चालू रखिए, जिससे देखिए बाहर वाले शेयर होल्डर भी अपने मन की भावना प्रकट कर सकें। जय हिंद, जय भारत। समय देने के लिए राम राम सर।
Thank you, sir. We now move on to our next speaker, Mr. Harshita Sabu. Harshita Shabu, we request you to unmute your audio, switch on your camera and proceed, please. So no response received. As of now, the speaker is not available in the meeting. So I now move on to our next speaker, Ms. Sushma Chanda. Ms. Sushma Chanda, ma'am, we request you to unmute your audio, switch on your camera if you desire to do so, and proceed, please. Ms. Sushma Chanda, ma'am, you can proceed, please.
Good morning to everyone. Sir, I just that our corporate governance is too good. तो सर इसमें दिक्कत है नहीं, बाकी हमें ये भी देख रहे हैं सर कि जो आप मेहनत कर रहे हैं वो हमारे शेयर प्राइस में भी रिफ्लेक्ट कर रही है, और है कि हम और आगे अभी और आगे बढ़ेंगे। तो हम बस यही चाह रहे हैं सर, आप इसी तरह मेहनत से करते रहें और हमारे को हमारे शेयर प्राइस पे रिटर्न अच्छी मिलती रहे। बस एक छोटा इन्वेस्टर यही चाहता है सर, बस इसके साथ धन्यवाद करना चाहूँगा सर आपका। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, sir. We now move on to our next speaker, Mr. Yusuf Yunus Rangwala. Mr. Yusuf Yunus Rangwala, sir, we request you to unmute your audio, switch on your camera if you desire to do so, and proceed, please. Mr. Yusuf Yunus Rangwala. Mr. Yusuf Yunus Rangwala, sir, we request you to unmute your audio and proceed, please. Sorry, sir, there is no response from the said speaker. If he tries to join back, we'll try to call him again, sir. We'll move on to our next speaker, Mr. Abhirup Nandi. Mr. Abhirup Nandi, we request you to unmute your audio, switch on your camera if you desire to do so, and proceed, please.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir. Please proceed. Thank you.
Good afternoon to the board members, key managerial person, and everyone present. I am CA Abhirup Nandi. I am glad to be a part of this meeting, speaking for the company. So you have put a very power packed financial performance led by the management, strong management, backed by strong corporate governance, led by our company secretary. So really glad to be a shareholder of this company. The annual report presented to the stakeholders very prominently, gives all the required disclosures and the information and the financial impact. So very glad to have such a detailed annual report. Every shareholder has been given a fair opportunity to speak. So I respect the company for that. And I feel every shareholder is also respecting the company by keeping within the time limits also. So really glad to see the both side cooperating with each other. You have put 8 items in the notice. I support all of them because they are for the betterment of the company, especially this policy of commission being paid to non-executive directors. This is a good policy. This will enhance the shareholder impact, because better the company will perform, the better the directors will receive. So in a way, the company will grow. So they'll be having a financial impact. So it is good for the company as well as the shareholders. Welcoming our newly appointed uh, independent director, Mr. Kishore Mishra. Really glad to have him on board and hoping that his rich experience will be better for the company. And also we have reappointment of 2 directors. Overall, I'm very happy with the financial performance as well as the corporate governance. This is Abhirup Nandi from this side signing off, wishing you a good health and better future. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We now move on to our next speaker, Ms. Meena Agarwal. Ms. Meena Agarwal, I may request you to unmute your audio, switch on your camera if you desire to do so, and proceed, please.
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you loud and clear. Please continue.
Yeah. Yeah. Respected Chairman Mr. Vivek Saraogi ji, Executive Director Avantika Saraogi, CFO Pramod Patwari, and CS Manoj Agarwal. Good afternoon and congrats to everyone. I voted for all the 8 resolutions sought to be adopted in today's AGM. Sir, the performance of the company was very good past year, and it has been good for a couple of years, sir. You have got 10 plans. All those things are there in the annual report, sir. My only 2 questions arise, sir. This year, you have done 6 buybacks in the past 7 years, sir. Now, buybacks would be a history, considering that buybacks would be treated as dividend in the hands of the receiver. So now, I don't think so. People will tender shares in buybacks. So now, the logical conclusion would be with the cash generation, you'll have to give out bonuses in future. Maybe not 1:2 or something, 1:3. It would be, could it be 1:10, sir? The equity doesn't increase to that level of this thing. 1:10 bonus we denge aap every second, third year. So it rewards the shareholder and the cash surpluses you are going to have, sir. And the plant that you are putting up for PLA, when will it be operational? We'd like to know. It is a greenfield plant of for 75,000 metric ton near a sugar manufacturing unit that you are stating. So it should also be treated with consent you are doing with CRISIL, to be treated as an ESG plant, because it reduces greenhouse gases and everything in the manufacture, and even in the end for biodegradable and composting system. So it leaves out less traces on the earth. This is because you are doing with CRISIL, your ESG. I wish the company all the best, and the performance of the company is not to be spoken of, sir. Yep, everything is, see, something we don't speak of, something that taken as what granted. You are performing well, so we don't speak on that. This was the suggestion which I had given you, sir. Thank you, sir, for giving me time to speak. Vinod Akaral, Mumbai.
Thank you, sir. We now request the last speakers who didn't get who were provided a chance but were not available and are available currently. I request Mr. Gundluri Reddappa. Mr. Reddappa, we request you to unmute your audio, switch on your camera and proceed, please. Mr. Reddappa, we request you to unmute your audio, switch on your camera if you desire to do so, and proceed, please, sir. Mr. Gundlu Reddappa, we request you to unmute your audio and proceed, please. Sorry, sir, there is no response from the said speaker. We now move on to one more speaker, Mr. Yusuf Yunus Rangwala. Mr. Yusuf Yunus Rangwala, sir, we request you to unmute your audio, switch on your camera and proceed, please. Mr. Yusuf Yunus Rangwala. Mr. Yusuf Yunus Rangwala, sir, we request you to unmute and proceed, please. Sorry, sir, there is no response from the said speaker. Sir, with this, we have given opportunity to all the speakers available at the moment, sir. We hand over back proceedings to you, sir. Thank you.
So, thank you, shareholders. And I've really appreciated the sort of encouragement given by our shareholders to the working team, which is us here, and to all our directors and the respect shown. It really feels good when one works hard and one gets appreciation. It feels good. Thank you to everybody. So I'll just break up the answers and I will hand over the baton to whomsoever should do the answers in my mind. So I will just give some remarks. So what has happened? The team has performed. There is no individual who can perform. Every person in the team, including me and all the people who work with me, they give a combined performance. So we are as strong as our weakest link, and so is the world. So the team deserves special credit. The board of directors, in my mind, deserve a special credit too. They are very skilled, each of them. If I keep talking about Binaji, Mamtaji is also a very skilled professional at her end. And, all of them we've spoken about, they keep us on our toes. And we are grateful to even some of our old directors. And they've cautioned us, pushed us to improve our standards of living, safety, workers, being fair, etc., etc. And they are doing an extremely good job in the boardroom. And for the shareholders, let me tell you that I am the biggest shareholder. I am too a shareholder. So the job which we do as promoters, who are professionals also, is work very hard, honestly, to be able to deliver so that shareholders, including me, we all get rewarded at the same time. So our goals are aligned, and hopefully we should scale greater heights as we move ahead. We have taken a path-breaking initiative. So I will ask Avantika to handle the questions on the PLA. The rest of the questions on power ethanol, I will request Pramod to answer. So Avantika, on to you, then Pramod.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for such a warm welcome from so many of the people. It's my first AGM, so please excuse me if I make any mistakes. I just want to talk about first the PLA project. I want to say that we are absolutely on track in terms of timelines and the planning. We are in the detail engineering phase, and our long lead item procurement has already begun and it's in full swing. Other than this, we are working on two other fronts apart from the putting up of the project, which seems to be completely on track. And we are working on market development and liaising with the government on the different avenues through which they can also help enhance market as well as value for people like us getting into this new venture for the first time in the country. So all of the efforts are going really well. We are receiving very positive messages from the government and buyers. The single-use plastic ban is actually one of the main tailwinds that we have. PLA is a very good replacement for most of these items, and being compostable under the ISO 17088 standards, it is very easily applicable to all of the bags that are there, and that market itself is huge. For example, 4.3 million tons of plastic is used in single-use plastics alone in the country. So the market is limitless, and we are working, wholeheartedly on it. In terms of timelines, during H1 of 26-27 is when the project should be commissioned. Exact dates will follow as we are closer to the date. And there was a question on investment. So it's a debt equity ratio which is mentioned already in the balance sheet. I'll let Pramodji get into the details of that. Further financial figures we are not in a position to disclose now, but very soon, in a few months, I think we will be. And about AI, there was a question, or two people asked about AI. So there are two places in which we are working on AI. One is on our internal machinery, and one is on Kane, mainly through data mining and getting from certain trend analysis to preempt either breakdowns or downward trends or even positives, which will kick in a couple of years, because still the historical data hypothesis analysis is on, and definitely we are right there with it. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Avantika. So, Pramod.
Thank you, shareholders, for giving me the opportunity to say something on the financial front. So, few questions which were raised to us with respect to the power rates. The average rate realization of power which we exported in FY 23-24 stood at 3.97 rupees per unit. Out of the 10 plants, we are currently out of the PPA arrangement with respect to two plants, that is Balrampur and Hyderabad. There we are exporting through open market route, and the proportion of export through open route is around 25% as of now. There the average rate is around, it varies from period to period, but between 5.5 to 7.5 rupees per unit. The next question was with respect to debt equity ratio on PLA. So we have announced a project where the debt component is around 60% and the equity component through internal approvals will be around 40%. On the ethanol policy, as mentioned by the CMD sir in his opening remarks, last year was a temporary halt, I would say. So we are hopeful of getting full permission from the government of India for producing ethanol out of various feedstock, that is grain, that is maize root, grain root, juice root, B heavy, C heavy. Our dedicated Majapur plant, which is capable of producing through 100% juice root, is expected to operate at full capacity this year. Thank you.
So, thank you once again. And just to sort of end, the idea is that we are working also very hard on cane varieties, balancing equipment, technological advancement, enhancement of recovery, lesser losses, more efficiency, and we continue to work at all ends unhindered. So I would request the directors, if they have any comments and observation, shareholders would love to listen to them. Indu Bhushan ji.
आप लोगों ने काफी विस्तार में बता दिया, so I think I don't have anything much to add. I think it was a good meeting. Congratulations for chairing it so well.
Thank you, Indu Bhushan ji. Veena ji, you have anything to say? The shareholders.
The company has got a very forward-looking aspect in all areas and is working a lot in the protecting the environment, which is the buzzword of the entire world when global warming is becoming such an issue. And I think it is one of the first companies to have quantified its GHG, where they see the carbon emissions. So I think our company is actually protecting not only the interest of the shareholders, but is trying to protect the entire globe and the climate issues that are coming up. And for that, I feel very proud that as a board member, we are also being able to contribute towards that.
Thank you, Veena ji. Mamta
Thank
ji.
you.
Thank you,
Yes,
Veena ji.
thank you so much for this opportunity. I was listening with very apt attention to all the shareholders, and I must say that this company is very receptive to all the suggestions that comes from the board members and also from the various employees that are there. I have seen that the company is carrying zero tolerance towards any nonsense for that matter, and towards safety, labor issues, etc. They lend a very, very heartful ears to the board. Their concept of zero tolerance is something which really attracts me as a board member. And I've always seen that the board is walking the talk, especially the senior management and the chairman, and of course the promoters. They are not the one who just gives lip services, is what I've felt strongly in this board. So it's a pleasure to serve this board. And thank you so much to all the shareholders to have really participated so enormously.
Thank you, Mamta ji. Can I request C.K. Mishra ji also to just speak to the shareholders?
Thank you so much. It was a delight to see the current performance. But what would perhaps be more heartening to the shareholders is the future view that the management holds and the way they are planning their future to not just ensure good returns, but also a solid growth trajectory for the company. And this should be reassuring for everyone. It's a pleasure to see that. And the overall environment has been so pleasant that everyone who's associated with the company feel confident and happy that they're on the right track. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So, Gupta ji, so there is a wide responsibility cast on the company, and and on behalf of the board, a lot of it is being put on your shoulders. So, would you like to say anything?
Yes, we are taking enough care about the environment side, as Veena ji has mentioned. And since last 3 years or so, safety has been of prime importance. And apart from that, I would like to say that we have done a lot of work on the employee welfare side. Lot of changes have taken place as far as the housing is concerned, the recreational facilities are concerned, and the families are looked after very well by BCML. And fortunately, our chairman, sir, has a lot of focus, personal focus, because I interact with him on day-to-day basis on this subject, especially on environment, safety, and health of the society at large as well as our employees. Thank you.
Thank you. So, this, instead of feeling, sort of delighted, we feel very responsible. And there's a lot of responsibility of the new project, of capital allocation, of the expectation of the shareholders, expectation of the employees, our own set of expectations. And we can only say that we as a team, including the board, including our team members, we will be putting our best efforts to ensure that we go from success to success. That's our endeavor. Thank you so much. So I trust we have responded to the queries raised by the shareholders. The remote e-voting has already been done on the businesses set out in the notice of the AGM. Members attending the AGM today who have not already cast their vote by remote e-voting may cast their vote on the e-voting platform now. You're given 15 minutes for the e-voting. I once again thank all of you for participating in the AGM. We are now nearing the end of the meeting. I'd request Mr. Ambar Ahmed, the scrutinizer, to scrutinize the e-voting in a fair and transparent manner. With this, our 48th AGM comes to a conclusion. I thank all the members for their presence and involvement, And I must once again thank the shareholders for their encouragement, for their praise, and most importantly, for the respect they have given our board members and our team members. I am extremely thankful and grateful for this. Thank you, shareholders.
Thank you.
Thank you. So directors can log off and e-voting will start for 15 minutes. Yes, sir.